This is the Motiv Sleek. It's a cruiser style electric bike, and it's a little bit smaller as such. The other cruiser bike from Motiv is called the Spark, and again it just has the high step, a little bit larger. So it's kind of neat that they're offering both frame styles. Most of the components, everything is very similar, but I'm going to run through this. It's an excellent e-bike. I've really enjoyed riding it, and the value is tremendous here. So let me just talk about what makes it a bike, first of all. We got 6 speeds back here, Shimano Tourney TX. Nice, big, easy to use shifter right here. As you can see, this kind of makes it easier. This one makes it harder. Clean cockpit. Disc brakes, front and rear. And that's awesome. You know, there are a few different cruiser bikes out there. The stopping power is definitely improved by having disc brakes, and part of the reason they can do that is based on the motor that they've got here, which I'll get into later. Got your kickstand, excellent pedals. These are Welgos. You can see they're a little bit wider, and they have these little spikes on them, so they're one of my favorite pedal choices out there. We've got these nice, they're kind of cruiser, relaxed style handlebars that actually absorb some shock, but they've chosen some that are a little bit narrower, and that makes it easier to get through doors and stuff. So they've been really thoughtful about the development. In fact, they started with the larger, wider handlebars, and they got some feedback from customers and shops, and they responded. So it's awesome to hear about that kind of thing. They're constantly looking to improve. They've also added these sort of like braze-ons for putting a rear rack. And you can also add fenders and stuff, although at this time they don't have those. So there's a lot you can do with this bike and kind of taking it forward and making it your own. And a big piece of that is actually colors. So you can pick just an amazing number of colors that you can choose for the frame. For the rims, you can get different colors, kind of mix and match. Like here we've got this reflective red that looks really good, and then we've got black there. You pick the seat color. Tire colors, like black, brown, white. So you can really make this your own, and they're beautiful, beautiful bikes. They ride really well. I like that they've also got the fender. But part of the reason that they ride well, part of the reason I like this design is how they've set up the drive system. So let me jump into that. This is a 500 watt geared rear hub motor. Offers excellent power. 500 watts is definitely the higher end, and geared means that they can make it a little bit smaller, a little bit lighter, and still get you that good torque. So I think they've made an excellent choice here, and that's part of the reason they've got the disc brake on the other side, is because there's room for it with a geared motor like that. The battery pack here, it's mounted mid on the frame, right midway, so it's not like hanging off. And it's lower to the ground, which I like. And it's removable, so you can charge this thing on the bike, off the bike, if you're using it to commute. It's awesome. They've done a good job, and it's also protected in the frame there. So you can see it's kind of enclosed by the seat stays and the seat post right there, which I really like. So you actually have several choices in terms of which battery pack you want. 36 volt, 10 amp hour, it's kind of standard. And in terms of e-bikes that are available out there, that is really the standard. It's got decent range, 25 miles, that kind of thing. If you want more range, you can go 36 volt, 15 amp hour. So amp hour is like the capacity. That's what takes you further. Or you can step it up big time and go to a 48 volt, 10 amp hour pack. And if you're a heavier person, or you're pulling a trailer with kids, or maybe you're climbing hills or something, that's what I'd recommend. When you pair 48 volts with a 500 watt motor, you're getting plenty of power, and it works very well. In fact, that's the one I've got here, really zipping along great. And they've got these nice brake points here, so you can detach the motor, remove the wheel more easily. I think they've been pretty thoughtful in the design. The tubes are actually pre-slimed on this, and you're looking at kind of the base model for tires, but you can upgrade and get Kevlar lined tires, which means it's going to be harder to get flats and stuff, which is, of course, convenient and a nice option. They've really kind of like looked at every angle of this bike, and it's pretty thoughtfully designed. So there's no pedal assist on this. This is only a twist throttle design, and the trade-offs there are you don't get quite as much range without pedal assist, and you have to twist that to keep going. But it also makes it super simple. It makes this bike great for rentals, or letting a friend ride, and it just makes it very approachable. You get the key, stick it in, twist it, you're ready to go. Press the red button here, twist the throttle, and you take off. Like, it's that simple. One complaint I have is you do have to leave the key in, you know, and it just, at least it kind of folds, which is nice, but, you know, at some point maybe they'll address that. The fenders I mentioned, there's no lights that come standard on this, but of course, you know, you can definitely afford to grab a couple extras and just stick them on the frame. And on a day like today, you know, you're just kind of cruising around. There's no rack, but they've got those mounting points now, so you can totally add that, and they've got the nice seat post shock, which I appreciate. So, you know, a bike like this with the bigger handlebars, you're kind of upright. They absorb some shock. The seat absorbs some shock, and it's actually got some rubber bumpers in there in addition to the seat post shock. And then the bigger tires. So you're really looking at something that's going to kind of, you know, bounce along and absorb the bumps and cracks that you hit along your way, which I appreciate. That's true of all cruisers, but worth pointing out here. So I'm going to go ahead and just jump right on this thing, and you can listen for that motor and watch the speed as we take off. Here we go. So it's a little bit, again, kind of a smaller frame, perfect for someone who's a little bit more petite, maybe. I'm just pedaling right now, getting ready for a twist throttle. Woo! Hauling. This thing just takes off. Oh yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and put the wide angle on so you can see what it's like in terms of seating position and stuff. There you go. Not too bad. And those disc brakes come in handy. You know, want to make sure you don't get too carried away. Oh yeah, so there you go. Again, this is the Motiv Step Through. Sleek, excellent bike. For more on this bike and others, check out ElectricBikeReview.com. I'll see you there.